What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Welcome, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Katamas, and it is the Friday night edition of The Awakening World. And I want to welcome everybody that's in our Zoom room. I see a lot of our wonderful friends, a lot of our regulars that are with us. But even if you've done it 100 times, we always love to see where you are geographically, especially because we always have new guests. And I also want to welcome all of you who are watching on the Facebook channels. A big thank you to John and Summer Raymer, who put us out through the Sign Network to as many as 100 Facebook groups and pages. And a special thank you to Unify and to all of you watching us on Unify. And we get people from all over the world watching on Unify. So definitely, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Unify, let us know where you are geographically. It's really fun to see our global family because we are the Global Peace Tribe. Now, tonight's show, we're going to be learning all about mystical alchemy. And the two people who teach it, they're two of my dearest friends. I've known Donny Regal for 35 years. I've known Heather for about 15 years, played a little role in bringing them together. And they're an amazing couple, and they're very wise. And they're going to share with us very practical, powerful tools for manifesting at a high level. But before I bring them fully on, I want to just acknowledge our beloved Omar Shar is with us. He's going to play a little bit of music. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Heather and Donny. And then Omar Shar will play a little music, and they're going to lead a meditation to drop us in. But let me start by introducing you to my dear friends, Heather Regal Salmon. And is it Donny Salmon Regal?
No. I got Regal Salmon when we got married, and he's Regal, and we're the Regals.
You're the Regals. Okay, well, you are truly very Regal.
You're well fish, and I'm just a normal royal.
Well, they are the co-founders of the Black Swan Temple and Mystical Alchemy Sound Healing. They're both ordained clergy of the Temple of Isis. Heather is also the co-author of Rise, Amazing Woman Rise, and Lead, Amazing Woman Lead. And both of them are innovative visionary mystics, and they bring decades of experience as professional performers, healers, producers, and really most of all, they're agents of change through the power of love. Heather and Donny, twin flames, have been together creatively and romantically since 2011, and they reside at their beautiful Black Swan Temple. I've stayed there. I've watched how it grows and evolves. It's beautiful. And it's a beautiful nature sanctuary in Maui, and not just in Maui, but on the jungle side of Maui. Together, they've produced over 30 sound healing CDs, authored the World Fusion plant-based recipe book, created award-winning inspiring short films, one of which we're going to see tonight. And they offer sacred sound ceremonies, mystery school initiations, retreats, pilgrimages, even going to ancient Egypt in September. We'll learn a lot more about all of this and about Donny and Heather throughout the show. Thank you both. I love you both so much, and I'm so grateful that the Awakening World audience is going to get a chance to receive your wisdom and your medicine. It's much appreciated. Yeah. So I'm going to flip over to Omashar for a moment to start us off. Welcome, brother Omashar.
Hey there, welcome.
Your audio is very, very low when you speak.
That's because I haven't spoken yet.
Oh, there we go.
Yes. Aloha and love to everybody. I'm in my private pool here on my left. So here we go. Deep breath.
Private pool.
Illuminate yourself with the waves of love passing through. Think not anything. You're the one you're waiting for. We have now received all the blessings of all time. Come and celebrate what we've all become. Life is you, love is you, and be all that you are. Show the world you are true, and all the earth will rise and answer you. No need to hesitate. Open hearts can walk right through. There is no door or gate that could hold your love at bay. We encourage you to hold only to that which is true. Your life is yours to make. All your wildest dreams come true. Life is you, love is you, and be all that you are. Show the world you are true, and all the earth will rise and answer you. and be all that you are. Show the world you are true, and all the earth will rise and answer you.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful brother Omashar. Thank you so much. That was
You're very
lovely.
welcome. That was illuminating.
I'm going to go straight to Donny and Heather and turn it over to them to lead a meditation to help us really drop in for tonight.
Great. Thank you, Omashar. Thank you, Scott.
That's beautiful,
Thank you,
Omashar.
everyone,
Thank you.
for being here with us. Let's take a moment now and just turn our awareness within. I invite you to lower your eyes as we come into presence in a heart-centered space. And begin to follow your breath as it goes in and out. Just noticing your breath as it rises and falls. And relaxing into your exhale. Softening your face, your jaw, your shoulders. And deepening your breath into the area of your chest. And into your belly. Allowing it to continue down like a soothing wave of relaxation. Into your pelvis. Into your legs. And all the way down into your feet. And from your root chakra at the base of your spine, that space between the anus and the genitals, I invite you to send down a brand new grounding cord for this moment. And this grounding cord can look like anything, a rope, a tube, a root. Whatever your grounding cord is looking like is just perfect. Let's just really well connected at your root chakra and the center of the earth. And giving yourself a nice little energy flush down that grounding cord, releasing all that's no longer serving. Anything that might be pulling at you, allowing Mother Earth to support you and compost anything that's no longer serving. And let's bring in, envisioning a beautiful golden sun over top your head now. And into this golden sun we do call in all of our energy. We call in our higher self, all aspects of our being, all of our gifts, our talents, the purpose, passion, your power. And draw this energy in through the crown of your head. And let it spiral in through and around each and every cell. Like a light being turned on in a room from the top of your head. Spiraling down into your neck and shoulders, down your hands and out your palms. And allow it to continue down into your belly and pelvis and legs. All the way down into your feet. And then as you're ready, just bend over and shake it out a little bit. And come back with hands in prayer at your heart. Breathe, just resting your left hand on your heart, perhaps your right hand on your belly, your womb, as you fully breathe your being. And breathing out and in and out through that heart center, enlivening it by simply reflecting on something that brings a smile to your heart in this moment. Something you love or are grateful for. And allow this to strengthen that beautiful divine presence that dwells within and radiate it like a beautiful warm light to all of your cells, to your entire being. And radiate beyond your being, cocooning you in a beautiful golden white light. Creating a coherent field in your mind, your body, and your spirit, and your emotions. A field of love. When we are coherent in our mind, our emotions, our body, in this field of love, we create a field in which the miraculous can occur, aligning us with the highest expression of our life fulfilled and divine path. From here, may we offer this sharing. May it benefit not only us, but all people and all children of all time. So be it, as it serves the light.
So be it.
Ashe, namaste. Releasing your hands and opening your eyes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love you guys so much.
We love you, Scotty. And we love, Scotty introduced us.
I love playing matchmaker. I really do. And yeah,
He didn't even know he was playing.
No, it's true. It's true. I did not know that.
Party.
That's true. But no, I had a whisper from God. Hey, speaking of whispers from God, I want to apologize. You're going to hear music. I'll keep myself muted when I'm not talking. I'm driving all the way back from Las Vegas to the Bay Area. Wasn't able to make it home in time, so I stopped at a hotel and they're letting me use their lobby to do the show. So let's get right into what is the Black Swan Temple? Why that name? What does it represent? And tell us a little bit about the wonderful work that you do.
Sure. Thank you, Scott. So the Black Swan Temple came about in the early 2000s. I was living in Los Angeles, and I was a professional actress, and I had a calling to, I heard healing in the performing arts. And I started studying I had a lot of healing energy and healing touch naturally, but I started studying with various wisdom teachers, and in Los Angeles it was so amazing. So many teachers would come through, but Reverend Lynn Herod de Vergis at the Church of the Essenes really was a powerful teacher and mentor to me. So I wound up going through this whole program through the Church of the Essenes and studied with my teacher, Reverend Lynn, for about 5 years. I did a practitioner's program, and then I did the seminary program, and I became an ordained Essene minister. And when I was ordained, 2 of my girlfriends each separately gave me Black Swan statues as gifts. As a congratulations, a gift. So, of course, what a sign, the Black Swan statue. And so the Black Swan Temple and Black Swans, we all know the story of the, one of my girlfriends said, I just thought it was a goddess. And one of my girlfriends said, here's a beautiful Black Swan. So, of course, the Black Swan, the story of the ugly duckling, thought they were the ugly duckling, but no, it was actually a beautiful swan, a black swan. Word. And also a Black Swan event, which is considered something that is impossible. so impossible. Like they never thought there were black swans until the the kind of Westerners or the colonizers went to Australia, and there's lots of black swans there. So a black swan event is considered something so big, and in hindsight, so obvious. So it's kind of the energy to me, for our work, is the energy of the miraculous. Like something so big that is like, yeah, it's like part of the divine patterning. And so it's like putting us, miracle is merely a correction for things we erroneously thought were true, says the Course in Miracles. So it's the energy of the miraculous, it's the energy of aligning us with our divinity. So that's how the Black Swan Temple and our work came about. And the sevenfold path of peace, which we can share a little bit about from the work of the Essenes, is focusing on 7 areas of your life, and very dynamic. So peace with the body, peace with the mind, peace with the family, peace with humanity, peace with culture or service, peace with the earth, and peace with the divine spirit. So imagine, and this was really a lot of the work, focused as an Essene that we focus on. It's really about self-mastery, self-understanding, know thyself, working on all of these aspects of our lives. And it's really, there's no dogma. It's like, how can you apply it? So I love in applying this to our modern day, because we have some really powerful tools like communication, compassionate communication, peace with the family, peace with your relationships, peace with humanity. We can be social activists. We can be environmental activists. We need to understand our bodies and heal them. And we know food and all of these things are very powerful for us. So if we're really looking at, how we're manifesting peace and how we are cultivating our own spirituality, then it offers such richness as such a rich inquiry. And then in 2010, I was contacted by the Temple of Isis, because it was 10-10-10, a big ordination that year. Isis is known as she of 10,000 names. And one of the priestesses of the Temple of Isis contacted me, and they said, we recognize you as being a priestess or aspect of Isis, and we would love if you could come and please dance the aspect of Isis for our big pageant convocation. So I did, and it was a really beautiful event, and they ordained me into the Temple of Isis. And so the Black Swan Temple is considered a ministry, an Iseum within the Temple of Isis now. And our temples, then I met Donny and ordained Donny, and we've ordained probably about 20 people into through our path into the temple. Iseum.
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to say also, because I know them so well, they really live this beautifully balanced life. The retreat site in Maui, as I said before, it's on the jungle side. And so they do yoga, they do connecting to the earth, a lot of time in nature, a lot of time in really working on clear communication. And so I so appreciate how you live this very balanced life of building your retreat. It's always getting bigger and new little amenities there. But also, building your relationship and leading such healthy lives. And, we're living in a time where our teachers need to walk the talk. And one of the reasons I'm so excited about you two being on the show is you really do walk it. I also want to read a couple of comments that came in. And a reminder to everybody, I will periodically read comments from people. And Eleanor Joy wrote, I would also see the black swan as a symbol for being unique, beautiful, and daring to step outside of the box and be at peace with all of that, true to oneself. And yes, that is definitely Heather Salmon. She's definitely all that. So that was very, very beautiful. And thank you for following the whatever background music they're going to be playing. We'll just have to go with that. I know that you lead retreats, and you've got a very exciting retreat coming up to Egypt. Now we're going to talk with them and get some tools. But since we're just talking about all this, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about the experiences that people have when they come to your home retreat in Maui, and then talk a little bit about the experiences when they go with you on a trip like to Egypt.
Sure. Do you want to talk about Maui?
Well, we're very blessed. We're very blessed to be on Maui because Maui is, as they say in Hawaii, Maui no ko'oi, Maui is the very best. Mm-hmm. It represents paradise, and when people come to our retreats, one of the first requests I tell them, I says, please bring aloha back to wherever you go. Because aloha is has such a profound meaning. It is the breath of life, of love. It's hello, it's goodbye, it's love. Do you have aloha in your heart? Do you have it in your soul and your mind? It's a beautiful teaching. And we start there, of course. We offer yoga and sound healing and great food. We get rave reviews for our food. Heather and I love to cook. And in addition to that, we also offer... Spa. Of course, we like people to nurture themselves and take care of themselves. We like to have people leave better than they got here. And in addition to that, I like to remind everybody that we're all mystical alchemists, and what I mean by that is we all have this incredible omnipotent power within us. And more importantly, we have to believe it. We have to believe it to receive it. And in the mystical alchemy training, teaching, in our courses that we offer people, and we offer all of our guests little tastes of it, we try to inspire people to recognize how omnipotent and potent they really are, to be part of the solution here on the planet. And I know this is a group of people that are really already walking that path, and yet there's always ways we can do more, myself included. And there's always ways that we can believe in ourselves more, give to ourselves more, love ourselves more, be present with ourselves more. And as we do that, the more that we do that, as we awaken to that part of ourselves, we start to become more powerful in what we can offer this planet. Because let's face it, the world needs us. The world needs all of us, especially this group that's here on this call. It needs all of us to step up. If I may say my own opinion, it's time for all hands on deck. It's time for us to really get our groove on, a little musical metaphor, and really, really, really awaken our own selves so we can offer that out. As Marianne Williamson said, we don't do the world a service by playing small so other people can feel comfortable. We do the world a service by stepping into our greatness. And that's kind of a little synapse of what happens when people come here. They step into their greatness.
Well,
go on and on.
Well, it's great. So let me direct people to the website, but then I want to hear a little bit more. But their website, it's simple to remember. It's the name of their organization, blackswantemple.org. And look at what happens when you go right to the homepage. The world needs you to rise in your greatness. And that is what they're all about. Helping ancient future mystics master their gifts and purpose while overcoming the challenges, and we all have challenges as human beings, spiritual beings, but having a human experience, and overcoming our weaknesses, our challenges in order to transform ourselves and our world. And so this is the beautiful work that you do. So again, to find out more, go to blackswantemple.org. And, you'll be able to learn all about what they're doing, all the different offerings that they have. And on their property, there is sound healing and crystal bowls and yoga classes. I mean, there's a lot going on. And it is in one of the most beautiful places on the planet, the jungle side of Maui in Huelo Point. And one interesting thing, I've been going to Huelo since 1985 when I first met Donny. So I've been going there for 37 years now. And the original Hawaiian word for that valley, translated, is resting place for mature souls. And it's where Kamehameha used to go on his vision quests. And I'm telling you, it's how I experience. I go there and I just deeply rest, remember who I am, drop into connection. So to go there is a blessing, and to be at Donny and Heather's retreat site with them there it's an amazing experience to have. So there's that.
Thank you, Scott. We're also raising a pyramid this weekend during Lionsgate. A big
Wow, that's right.
spiritual
Wow.
pyramid. So that's going to be another. We have our healing spa. Part of the healing and self care are the waters. So we have a hot tub and a far infrared sauna and a cold plunge and a swim spa and beautiful outdoor setting. It's like a goddess temple. And it's so, yeah, no chemicals in our waters. We use this living clay, so it's like beautiful mineral bath. So,
Well, we'll talk about Egypt in a little bit, but I want to read a couple more comments. Karen Eisenberg writes, Heather and Donny, your true beingness is so inspiring. Your goddess temple is a calling. And Dia writes, wow, what you just shared with us about the Essenes and Isis, I belong there with you. So I think you're going to have some of our friends coming to visit you.
Let's hope so.
Let's talk a little bit. That's something I always enjoy, helping people understand about the Essene experience of Jesus and the Christ consciousness. And so, again, we are multi-denominational here, but given that you're both clergy with the Temple of Isis, tell us a little bit more about the Temple of Isis and the Essenes and that vision for life.
I want to start and say that Jesus was not a Christian; he was an Essene, and he had traveled to Egypt. He had he brought incredible wisdom from Egypt in back to Israel, and he obviously had his own issues in Israel with the Judaism there. But he was an incredible soul. He is still an incredible soul in our hearts. Even though I'm not a practicing Christian per se, I quote Jesus practically every day. I love Jesus. I love what he brought to the table.
yeah. Essene really means walking the path of light. And it's all really the Essenes, my understanding, there were different sects of the Essenes. So the sect of the Essene that Jesus and Mary and Joseph and John the Baptist and Mary Magdalene were all associated with were actually very open-minded people, and they embraced many paths. Jesus traveled to India. He traveled, my understanding, Yeshua traveled to India to study under the masters there, and traveled to Britain to there and studied with the Druids, and made pilgrimage. He spent time as a small child in Egypt, but also when he was older, in his 20s, he did pilgrimages and spent a lot of time in ancient Egypt through the temples. The Nile itself is considered, traveling the Nile, that each temple are associated with the chakra system and the Jid. So each temple is like an activation of various parts of us. The pyramid, the Great Pyramid itself, was not a tomb. It was, my understanding, an energy generator. Meditating in a pyramid actually awakens your higher centers, aligns your chakras, and awakens us to Christ consciousness, which is our cosmic consciousness, divine wisdom, knowledge, and all of our gifts, so we can fully step in to a place of oneness with spirit, with the divine, with the earth, and heal all of this separation and fear and struggling that we've been dealing with. So our pilgrimage this is our journey, and this is our path. We're following the path of the ancient Essenes, the ancients. We go to we're doing it over the fall equinox. So in the eve of fall equinox, we get to have a private opening for our group for a 2-hour meditation in the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid, where we get to take our crystal harp and some other simple instruments, and we'll be doing sacred sound. Everyone will be sounding with us. We're going with an intimate small group. And then at the time of equinox, we have another private meditation time between the paws of the Sphinx, which has a very powerful alignment with the solar energies. The ancient Egyptians were more solar than lunar in the Essenes in their worship. And then we fly everyone down to Luxor, and we board a private boat. We have a beautiful luxury private boat which we'll be sailing the Nile for 7 days, 6 nights. And each day we stop at a different temple, and we get to do on the boat, we get to do some music. Sound healing, gentle yoga, breath work, meditation work, and really dive into the mysteries that's so powerful, and so we can fully be nourished and receive the energies and see what Spirit has, activating us to our fullest potential.
Our meditation inside the Giza Pyramid in the King's Chamber will be an incredible activation. And especially for the fall equinox, it's going to be something that it's going to be an awakening for those who are able to go with us. And we're participating in a global essence, that we're all part of this tribe of people that are trying and here to really create harmony and healing and health to the planet.
I'm so envious. I would love to be going with you. So next time, I really want to plan it. We'll do Awakening World shows from Egypt. I want to remind people that, again, if you're wanting more information on how to do this, you go to their website, and I'll take you to it again. It's Black Swan Temple, and blackswantemple.org. And then when you get to the website, just flick on to where it says Sacred Travel. And there's 2 options: Maori retreats, which we just talked about, but then also the Egypt pilgrimages. And that's where you can learn. Now, do you even have any space available for September, or is it booked up?
We have 2 spots still open. So we can take 2 more people, and our registration is closing the end of next week for sure. So it's going to be a nice, intimate group. So if anyone wants to go, just please visit that website and learn more, and then you can schedule a call with us. We'd be delighted to hop on a Zoom with you and talk to you about it.
We're really picky with who comes, because it's so important to have a really group of like-minded people. We've experienced doing groups before, and it's really so necessary to really find the right group of souls that really are aligned and are there for an incredible life-changing adventure.
Well, I can vouch for all of my Global Peace Tribers. They're pretty awesome. And Lynn and Leaf and also Dia are really appreciating what you shared about Yeshua and his experience. One of the things, if my history is accurate, that I learned that, as I said, Jesus was in a scene. The Essenes were primarily vegetarian and fish eaters. They were very peaceful people. And their understanding of early Christianity, even after he was gone, was that it was the true understanding that he was Jesus who experienced Christ consciousness, which is available to us all, and that he was the ultimate role model for a very beautiful way of living. What is sad is that the Latin sect of Christianity were converted Romans. And so they still have that romantic, conquer the world energy. and rather violently actually wiped out the Essenes. And that's why the Latin sect of Christianity, which led to then the Vatican and Catholicism, dominated. And imagine how different our lives would be if we had grown up with the Essene vision of Christianity. So I just wanted to add that little bit of history. I have promised people that you're going to give them some tools of how mystical alchemy can help all of us to rise into our greatness. So what are some tools that you'd like to share?
Well, how about showing our videos, Scott?
That sounds like good timing.
That sounds
Absolutely.
like a powerful tool you can take in right now. It's very multi-dimensional.
I am pulling it up even as we speak. Now, introduce us. What are we about to see?
So this is a beautiful video that we created, a micro short film, based on the 42 ideals of Ma'at. Lady Lorien and a group of 9 priestesses from the Temple of Isis went to Egypt in 96, and they traveled the Nile, and they were there I was just talking to Elizabeth Kelly, and she was telling me how they were there for a month, and they focused on transforming the laws of Ma'at, which were stated in the negative. So Ma'at is the neter. A lot of people call her goddess, but she's a neter. They're part of the cosmic way that the cosmos has been created. So she holds the principle of justice, of balance. And so when one passes, I'm sure you know the story, your heart is weighed against the feather of Ma'at. And if your heart is pure, and you've been pure and of good conscience, then you get to go into the afterlife of bliss, forever bliss. If not, you might need to come back and do some work. So these are the ideals of Ma'at that we've created as a teaching and as sharing. It's a beautiful video. We traveled. It's based from shots from here in Maui. We were also in Chichen Itza. All the pyramids are connected. So you're going to feel the powerful energy of that. And I'll
Beautiful.
share a little bit more after you finish.
Okay, here we go.
Ma'at, O cosmic Neteru who personifies the principles of truth, justice, balance, and harmony. We petition you to awaken your ideals within the hearts and minds of all mortals. May the path of honor, righteousness, and truth restore order from chaos and strife upon the earth. I honor virtue. I benefit with gratitude. I am peaceful. I respect the property of others. I affirm that all life is sacred. I give offerings. I live in truth. I regard all altars with respect. I am sincere. I consume only my fair share. I have only good intentions. I relate in peace. I honor all creatures with reverence. I can be trusted. I care for the earth. I keep my own counsel. I speak positively of others. I am balanced in my emotions. I my relations. I aspire to higher consciousness. I spread joy. I do the best I can. I communicate with compassion. I listen to opposing opinions. I create harmony. I invoke laughter. I am open to love in various forms. I am forgiving. I am kind. I am respectful of others. I release all judgment. I follow my inner guidance. I converse with awareness. I do good. I give blessings. I keep the waters pure. I am optimistic. I praise the goddess and the god. I am humble. I achieve with integrity. I advance through my own abilities. I embrace the all.
Wow. That is gorgeous. So gorgeous. Wow. Oh my God. You know, I've got ear pods in and the sound, beautiful sound mixing. So, wow. I'll read a few comments coming in. Adora writes, awesome. Karen Eisenberg writes, wow, what a beautiful video, Donny and Heather. Susan says, thank you so much for these words. Dia Therese talks about how she's going to be in Ecuador at the Tosa Blue Mountain to establish the first points of light. And by the way, Dia,
gorgeous. This.
and by the way, Dia, we're going to do a special show with Shri and Kira just before the opening of their pyramid. So everybody's really appreciating a lot of wonderful comments coming in. So is there a YouTube link that people, if they want to watch this or share it with people, is there a YouTube link for this?
There is. If you go back to our website and you go, I think it's on our landing page. It's also under our sound healing page. And then under the sound healing, there's another video. We did a longer one, the Avatar Gates of Power, which is 23 minutes, which is another great one to watch. Gorgeous. We did it during lockdown, COVID. We had like beaches in Maui that are empty and just,
unusual.
Yeah, drone shots that are just incredible. So that's something else to watch. And then the link for the YouTube, we have it on YouTube and Vimeo. So the link for the YouTube, if you just follow the Ma'at, will be there. What?
Okay. Yeah, well, I've been muting myself, so you're not hearing my, right. Well, it's gorgeous. It's really beautiful. And some of those commands or those suggestions, those are so important. Listening to others, taking into consideration the opinion of others. Boy, our world needs a lot of that right now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah. So now, in terms of mystical alchemy, because those two words, the way you've put them together is very beautiful. I still want to hear more about that. What does that really mean? What is mystical alchemy, and how does that show up in your lives or in your teachings?
Well, like I had mentioned earlier, there's a mystical alchemist inside every one of us. The question is how much awareness do we give it? How much do we honor it? How much do we nurture it? How much power do we give ourselves? One of the in my life coaching thing, I always say that the secret to having it all is know that you already have it, and yet we have to believe to receive. If we don't, if you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're right. So the mystical alchemist is really about owning that power, owning the omnipotence, setting your intention, finding your true purpose in life, and what I like to call it your destiny, because we all have a destiny. We're all here to find a way to contribute. I can see Scott and I can see everybody here has found ways to do that, and yet it's a never-ending process.
Right. I think so. So in our Mystical Alchemy Mastery program, it's based on the work of the Essenes that I've studied that helped me to help you to come into self-mastery, so energy work and meditation and dream work, and then the modern day mystic work of sacred activism, of communication, of stepping into your vocation and being of sacred service. This is all part of the path of the mystical alchemists. When our crown chakras are open, we align with spirit and we are higher selves, and we receive divine guidance, divine knowledge, divine inspiration, and we recognize that all life is interconnected and interrelated, and we offer ourselves in sacred service to the good of all beings, all life. And you become an alchemist, offering your service, and you're able to help to alchemize, transform the world around you with love. So through this mastery and through these tools, we become the mystic and the alchemist.
Beautiful. I'm going to read a couple more comments that have come in. Eleanor Joy writes, I believe that you can receive the allow it to flow. I so resonate with the Essenes and have done so for a long time. So I'm loving your sacred energy. And then Karen Eisenberg writes, whatever you are looking for, it is looking for you. I like that one, Karen. That's good. Okay, question. So when we're in that beautiful centered space of consciousness, where we're in the awareness of oneness, but what are some of your tips or tools for when you're having maybe a more human experience, a more animal body moment, where maybe the pain of the world or the challenges of your life circumstances are really difficult? What are some of the tools that you suggest for coming back into that state of alignment?
That's a great question, and I think that so important is to know thyself, and to have these tools of the meditation work, the energy work, to recognize what's yours and what's not, and to how to clear away and know when to maybe even take a time out, a connected time out. And I love you, Scott. That's one of your taking a time out, and the empathy, the self-empathy work, so we can continue to, because there's so much happening in the world, and there's so much happening, and sometimes you can't just blurt it all out or like lash out at people. Sometimes you need to step back and take care of yourself and do this work and receive the guidance through your dreams, through nature, through others. And this is a practice to cultivate, to find these answers, to know how to ask the questions, to know how to receive the guidance.
I always like to say, one of my mottos in life is turn your frustrations into fascinations. Because as we do that, the more that you do that, the more you recognize that frustrations are just an opportunity to transmute something inside of you. That, a great story that I've learned from Scott is how Buddha achieved enlightenment through acceptance, to accept things, to really process things in a way where we don't get triggered. And the way we do that is by working on ourselves, as Heather said right from the get-go, is to know thyself and to really, I mean, to quote Marshall, he said, it's important that we count. And before we react, before we, well, it's a great way of saying before we react, to really take a breath and really hold ourselves accountable for what we say, because what we say and what we feel is a reflection of who we are. And the more that we can work on ourselves, the more that we can really calm ourselves, the more that we can really offer up to the world something that we feel really aligned with. And there's a lot of people that haven't put the time into working on themselves. And there's lots of opportunities to practice, whether it be nonviolent communication or practice our spiritual ability to really react in beautiful, harmonious ways. And life is a great teacher, and it's when those things are not working in life is the greatest opportunity to take that. I always say, we're all here to take our shit, turn it into compost, and grow something beautiful out of it. So whatever is happening that's not working, we are all here to really work with that and find the gift. There's a gift in everything that comes to us, especially when life isn't working or we're feeling like life is not giving us what we want.
Thank you. I'm going to read some more comments, and now I'm going to actually read some comments that have come in from our friends watching on Unify. Andrea Beatty writes, I love the peaceful nature of that video. To really know yourself and living in pure consciousness. You both stay so present. You both are radiating love. And then she adds, finally, acceptance before acting on drama. So thank you for those beautiful comments, Andrea. And then Candace, also writing to us from Unify, writes, sending love and light from the Sunshine Coast of Australia. Such a beautiful and inspiring interview. I recognize my tribe. Maui was my home in the 70s. I know that I am an Essene. Mahalo and aloha. Thank you very much, Candace, for being with us and sharing that. And then back in our own Zoom room, Dia Therese writes, Heather and Donny, if you have time, I would love to know more about your pyramid. Namaste and much aloha. So there you go. Tell us about the pyramid.
Well, I want to say that we're going to be in the pyramid in Giza during the fall equinox, and for a transmission and a download and an activation within ourselves. And we realized that, boy, it'd be certainly nice to have our own pyramid. So we're developing some space, some additional space on the property. And one of the things we thought would be really nice is to have at least a mini version of the Great Pyramid. And we're making it out of copper because I've learned that just putting food into a copper pyramid just makes it last 10 times longer. So there's incredible healing energies that happens inside of pyramids.
Yeah. So it's got copper and it's got crystals in each of the corners, and it's got organite at the top, and it has a nice copper cap. And it's like maybe about a 10-foot.
It's a 10-foot square, yeah.
10-foot, yeah, tall pyramid. So you'll be able to come and sit and meditate inside of it.
When will that be happening?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow! Wow! Wow!
We're in the middle of the Lionsgate, and actually Donny and I have to travel on Sunday and Monday, so we're doing it tomorrow. And this is the time of the Lionsgate too, so it's very powerful. You might know about the Lionsgate. The star Sirius, it's the heliacal rising, also actually start to rise here above the horizon.
It's the Egyptian New Year.
Yeah, around the 24th of July. And so, 8/8 is considered like the pinnacle of the and Lionsgate, but really it's not just a day, it's a whole time span that goes through mid-August, and this is considered Egyptian New Year's because when Sirius is considered the Isis star, and when it would rise above the horizon, this is also when the inundation, the floods, the Nile would flood, and the Nile would flood, and it would nourish all the fields all around the Nile, and this is what they needed for their sustainability, because then they could plant and things would grow. So, very powerful time, beautiful time.
Well, that's a good segue for me to remind people that we are having your beloved friend Celestine Starr, who is also part of the Temple of Isis. And I'll probably have Heather talk a little bit about her experience of Celestine. But a reminder for everybody that Celestine passed away, of course, on the 4th of July. Of course, she would leave on Independence Day as she became independent of her human form. And so we're having a beautiful memorial for her on Sunday. Now, of course, most of our friends won't be able to be there in person. So I'm hosting a live stream event. It's free, but I do need people to register, and I'll put into the Zoom room the link for registering. And that's going to be Sunday afternoon at 1:30. Now, for my Sacred Sunday show, to prepare for what we're going to be doing, we're going to have a really special Sacred Sunday show in which we are going to connect to the spirit of Celestine. And we're doing that with international shamanic breathworker Linda Starwolf, who's going to lead us into a powerful breathing practice to connect to the spirit of Celestine. So that's going to be this Sunday morning on my Sacred Sunday show. Take a little bit of a break, and then at 1:30 is going to be the live stream of her memorial. And Heather, Donny, you are fellow Temple of Isis clergy with her. What would you like to share about your memories with Celestine?
Sure. I'll first say that Celestine was such a beloved sister, big sister to me. And she's always so supportive, and she'd be there. She was a documentarian. She would videotape everything, take pictures. She'd come to all of our ceremonies, and we're just so grateful for her. And the day she passed when the star Sirius, which I was just talking about, had an exact alignment with our solar sun. And so she went through the portal of the Sirius alignment, which was so powerful. And now with her celebration of life being during Lionsgate is beautiful. And our temple has actually acquired a star for her. That we're just so delighted about it. I just got such a strong message that, yes, got the star for Celestine. So in the same constellation where Sirius is, which is Canis Major, we acquired a star, and the star is now called the Celestine Ayesha star. So her star will be dedicated on her birthday, which is December 24th. And I love that date for the dedication, because now Sirius is starting to rise, and by the time the winter solstice comes, it'll be right overhead. So we will be honoring and dedicating. You'll be able to see her star high in the night sky, beside Sirius. So that's her daughter is super excited about that, and of course there'll be no doubt that it is Celestine Ayesha star. She was a very galactic priestess. We were both devotional priestess to to Nut or Nuit, who is the mother goddess of Isis and Osiris and Set and Nephthys, and goddess of the night sky. She's the one seen with all the stars on her body. So being a star priestess, of course, it was our great honor to have the star, which we actually feel is a gift from everyone at the Temple of Isis, all of her clergy brethren. So we're super excited about that.
Yes, Celestine was a divine star and light in herself, and I remember playing some music with her, and hers always being in ceremony, and she was a great, like you said, like a documentarian. She would capture everything. it makes me feel good to know that, she exited at a time where she could really, she was such a star being herself, so she has chosen to really join the stars and chosen to really be part of this healing on just a different level. She was a magician and a magical goddess in her own right, and she has really brought a lot to the table for so many people.
Thank you for sharing those thoughts. And, of course, her birthday is December 24th and mine is December 25th. So she and I, several times over the years, had joint birthday parties together. And she also was very close to Suchi, my wife, who passed away. So they are both, I'm sure, busy little angels looking out for all of us. And a lot of people have reported having amazing connections with the spirit of Celestine since she passed away. She's been quite active and busy. And for our audience, Heather and Donny were with me and with my wife during her final days. Donny was playing music and we were all singing when my wife took her last breath. So that's the beautiful family that Donny and Heather are. And we've shared so deeply these sacred moments. And it is a sacred moment with Celestine or Suchi pass. It's like a birth, the birth into the next level. So it's very, very beautiful to share these things with you. And yeah, Celestine was quite the goddess and quite the mystic. So the timing of her exit is no surprise. And even though she had a pretty serious health issue, she lived life to the fullest. She was very vibrant up until the very end. And then she had a little bit of a health emergency, went to the hospital. They didn't think it was going to be terminal or critical. But she said to her daughter, "Oh no, I'm going to die today." And she was still totally in the morning, coherent. In the afternoon, she kind of slipped. And by 5:00 in the afternoon, she had passed away. And it was 4th of July. And shortly after she passed away, the fireworks began. So she really went out in a classic Celestine way, which is quite amazing. And I love that her ceremony and your pyramid is all happening around the Lionsgate weekend. That's, again, very, very Celestine and very auspicious, very, very powerful. Is there anything else about her as a member of the Temple of Isis that is worth sharing with our audience?
Well, Celestine, she was also an oracle. So she would often offer channelings, and I had the great honor of holding space for her to do so within our temple on a couple of occasions, creating that sacred container through which she could receive some really beautiful messages and guidance. And she was just so, she loved ceremony and ritual. She was so gorgeous, and she had everything. I think I have a lot of goddess bling. She has a lot. She had it all. I'm like, what? Her closet must become some sort of museum or something that's going to be happening now. But she was so humble, and she loved to collaborate, and she loved to support everyone's expression of the divine and creativity. So I think that was most touching. Real sisterhood, no sense of jealousy or envy, just true love, pure support. And that's the highest honor I could bestow upon anybody, really, to feel that loving presence from someone. It's just so special.
Takes me a moment to unmute here. Another couple comments that have come in from Zach, who's watching on the Love Coach Academy. he wants to know, are there any teachings in mystical alchemy around connecting with the spirit of deceased loved ones?
Um, definitely. So there's the dream work, the meditation work we do. I can't give you a quick 1, 2, 3, do this. It takes a while to cultivate these practices and to prepare your vessel to receive in a safe way, in a healthy way. So there's absolutely ways to connect. You can connect through your dream time. You need to know how to do certain journaling, certain asking in specific ways. So we're happy to support and guide people through that process.
Beautiful. Well, we're winding down. A couple things. I want to again go one more time to their website. And again, everybody, it's blackswantemple.org. And that's where you can learn everything you've always wanted to know about Heather and Donny and their services. I also want to say that they're both coaches. I think Heather's pretty booked up right now, but Donny is a brilliant life coach. He loves supporting people. He's very well trained in nonviolent communication. He and I both did a lot of work with a wonderful man, Robert Gonzalez. We created a 3-disc DVD series together. And so this is their website, blackswantemple.org. You can contact them. You can watch those videos. And you can go to their temple shop. And that's where there's all sorts of things. Their books, their crystal singing bowls, their beautiful sound healing. They've done over 30 MP3s on a wide variety of things here. So this is a wonderful way to get more of Donny and Heather and all that they have to offer. Donny, Heather, I love you both so much. And
Love you too, Scott.
thank you for taking time to be with us. And in a moment, we'll go to Omashar to close us out with some music. I should probably put myself back on camera. I do also want to let people know about tomorrow night on the Awakening World. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the atomic bomb blast on Hiroshima. And so we are going to be remembering Hiroshima. And we have some really extraordinary international leaders in the peace movement joining us. Chief Phil Lane Jr. is going to be with us. My co-host, Fumi, is originally from Japan. And the peace poles that, are all over? She is in charge of the entire peace pole project for North America. I'm very proud that she got me a peace pole. And we have Jonathan Granoff, who's a brilliant speaker. Tez Gabriel, who actually is the executive director of Pathways to Peace, is joining us. And several other guests that are leaders in the peace movement. And as always, music on Saturday night. We've got Dr. Ivy Hilton. We've got Tammy Briggs, who's a beautiful harpist. Our beloved Omashar will be back. And Fanny and Vigari will be joining us. And then finally, we've got a beautiful poet, A. Marie Brown. Thomas Brown is going to be doing some original poems specifically about Hiroshima and our pathways to peace. So that's tomorrow night at 6:00 Pacific time. Any final words before I turn it over to Omashar?
Thank you, Scott, so much, and thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight and being here and your participation and all your great comments. And it's such an honor and pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and I want to mention it's such a joy to be within a group of people that are really here aligned to be part of the solution on the planet. And we'd love to be in contact with you. We'd love you to reach out to us. We'd love you to come visit. I consider you all part of our ohana, a part of our family. And as a teamwork, I say teamwork makes the dream work. We're here. If you guys ever come through Maui, please stop by and say hi and reach out. Because it's all of us together that's going to make a difference. We're here to do great work.
Beautiful. Thank you, Donny. Thank you so much, Donny and Heather. I love you guys so much. And hey, everybody, it's time to turn on your cameras because as Omashar is playing music, I love spotlighting some of you, some of our friends. So don't be shy, even if you're in your pajamas. It's okay. Most of us are wearing pajama bottoms now anyway. I'm not because I'm traveling, but Omashar, what do you have to wrap us up tonight?
Well, Heather and Donny, thank you so much. Just being in the presence of your presence, I feel still and centered and grounded. So thank you. And this is another first for Global Peace Tribe. The song I'm going to sing is called Out of the Blue. And not to be outdone by the background, the music that has been behind Scott all evening. I've been trying to name that tune. But this is a pop version, and it demands that you get up and dance and shake your booty. And it's about our ancestors, and it's basically whatever happened to the ones, our ancestors that came before. Did they just vanish into the blue, or actually they actually reaching their hands back out of the blue and encouraging us into our greatness as we go forward? So that's my my whatever preamble into the song. And please stand up and dance with your camera on and your pajamas as well, of course. Whatever happened to the ones that came before? Did they just vanish into the blue? Maybe they're living the dream we know to be true, and reaching their hands back out of the blue. My heart is so ready to embrace all that's new. I feel the love calling for me to break on through. With peace on my mind, I know that I'm coming to a new way of life that feels so true. There's nothing here to hold me back from you. The clouds of my life have blown away. My lightness of being lifts me every day. I find myself feeling not so blue. Heart is so ready to embrace all that's new. I feel the love calling for me to break on through. With peace on my mind, I know that I'm coming to a new way of life that feels so true. It's a pop song. Yeah, thank you so much. A metaphysical pop song.
about our ancestors. How did you like that? First time ever played.
Looks like you got groomed.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So sweet.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's Roger. It's Roger and his partner that are unmuted, but that's okay. We enjoyed hearing from you guys. Now you're on. See, now you're on camera, right? You and the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes, we are.
All right, everybody. I sure hope to see you later this weekend, tomorrow night or on Sunday. We've got a lot going on. Again, thank you, Heather and Donny. Thank you, Omashar. And thank you, Global Peace Tribe. I'm going to go to gallery view one last time so everybody can wave and say goodbye, and much love to all of you. And we look forward to seeing you hopefully tomorrow night. Take care, everybody, and have a good evening. Good night.
Aloha.